first topic I want to talk about really quick before we get into some other things is that I don't like bitch ass niggas. And the reason why I want to start off with that is because
game is about helping us learn the rules of manhood. And a lot of times what happens is we don't fully believe in the rules. We don't fully believe in the information.
You cannot fear rejection.
We got to stand on business out there, meaning that the bitches ain't gonna even fuck with me if they don't think that I'm willing to go the distance behind some shit.
everybody in this room, if you had a bitch ass moment, raise your hand.
When I say I am, I want you to say a motherfucking man. I am a motherfucking man.
Like I said, y'all should have bitches. I'm amazed. It's a struggle for some of y'all.
Once you find something that you're into, it comes before everything else. And then even when you deal with a woman who's into you, she has to compete with that thing, whatever the fuck that is, right?
Stand up if you believe in fear. Stand up right now. Everybody stand the fuck up.
You know, I say bitch a lot and nigga a lot, but, you know, it's with good intention and a lot of love in it and whatnot.
If I'm feeling insecure, is this really me, or did somebody teach me how to feel this way?
I am a motherfucking man.
Still ain't getting women? Really? Come on, son. You need to go to badboymembership.com and step up your game. What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game, and I'm telling you that if you really want to attract beautiful women, you need to go to badboymembership.com. This is where you get 45 through 90-minute step-by-step dating advice tutorials every month. Just sign up, follow the advice, and you'll get the woman you want. Go to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com. It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game, and I want to tell you about my documentary, Game Kings, The Definition of Game, starring myself, the Boss Mac Top Soil, Rosebud, Ron Wills, Miles Cunningham, and much more. In this documentary, you're going to learn about confidence, manhood, attracting women, and the definition of the game. To get this documentary, go to MrLocario.com.
Some people think you need a sports car to get what you want. Some people think you need $1 million. Some people think you need looks, status. The only thing you need is what they can't get unless they come straight to you. And that's your identity. Join the Masculine Identity membership today. MasculineIdentityMembership.com. Masculine Identity Soap. This luxurious, quality, high lather, high moisturizing, all natural bar soap has been handcrafted with care and consistency to provide a quality cleansing experience for self-care, focus, and productivity. Specially formulated for cold showers. Stay clean, gentlemen. Masculine Identity Soap.
Yo, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's poppin', what's good, what's good? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the motherfucking dating game. Shout out to everybody who was up late night for this game, you feel what I'm saying? As I'm recording this right now, it's 11:11, Make-A-Wish, motherfuckers, you feel what I'm saying? And get it cracking. Shout out to everybody in the chat who we got up in here. Shout out to my lady, April MC in the motherfucking building. Shout out to Fat John No Name. Also, shout out to my dude Joe Blast in the motherfucking building. Shout outs to who else we got up in here? AJ Lino, No Data, June Sports, Astro FL, Atonement, what's good? AT is in the spot. Golden Bindo, what's going on? Justin Tagedale, what's popping? Beaver, what's going on? What's popping with your Superfly reactions? What's good? What's good? So shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Today's show, we're going to be talking about how laziness will leave you sexless in the dating game, okay? It's going to leave you sexless. Now, we're going to break all of that down. You feel what I'm saying? We're going to break all of it down. And the call-in number, people, is 646-481-3901, 646-481-3901 is the number. If you want to call in, make sure you guys hit the Cash App or the PayPal at the top of the joint and leave a donation, $5 or more. Or if you just want to have your questions answered, in the chat, you feel what I'm saying? Leave a Q in the chat and we'll get that cracking. But before we get into all of that, I just want to say real quick, this Monday, the 18th, we are going to be starting the holiday sale. Okay. And so what happens in the holiday sale is from the 18th to January 1st, right? When you join the Bad Boy membership or the Masculine Identity membership, right? You're basically going to get the Ultimate Bad Boy package for free, which is a bunch of my programs that you are going to get for free. You're going to be able to download all those for free. And also you're going to get this new program that has been, basically long overdue right here. That is the new program. It's called How to Have a Successful Non-Monogamous Relationship. Okay, so a lot of people have been asking me about this program. And this is a program where I break down how to actually get into non-monogamous relationships, how to maintain it, different types of non-monogamous relationships. I'm going to be talking about, is a non-monogamous relationship for you? And also on this program, I have, my wife and my girlfriend on this program. So I have April on this program and she's being interviewed. My wife is being interviewed. I'm being interviewed. So it's about 3.5 hours long. You feel what I'm saying? And this program you're going to get for free when you get the holiday sale. Now, this is the thing. This program is not going to be available by itself until like next year's spring. So if you want to get this program right now, or I should say, on a holiday sale, jump on it on the holiday sale, because what you got to understand is that after the holiday sale is over, you're not going to be able to get this program until the spring. So probably like, March or something like that. Probably even April, who knows? You understand what I'm saying? So make sure that you guys be prepared for that. If you want this program, make sure you jump on the holiday sale from the 18th to the 1st. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm going to be talking about this a little more as time goes on, and we're going to get that cracking. All right. It's going to be fire. Fire. You understand? It's going to be fire, man. So the holiday sale is coming up this Monday. So stay tuned. We're about to get that in. So today's topic, laziness will leave you sexless in the dating game, right? So when you're lazy, it's going to leave you sexless. It's going to leave you dateless. Things are not going to happen for you, right? And what you got to understand is that in order for you guys to make anything happen, right? It doesn't just have to even be sex. It can be you getting a girlfriend, wife, or whatever, you getting more girls to date, whatever it is when it comes to this game, right? You are going to have to put in work, right? And what you need to understand is that any form of laziness is going to make it harder for you to get what you want, right? And see, what a lot of guys think nowadays, because based on what you hear on the internet a lot, is guys are always talking about, oh, you know what? I'm just going to wait for choosing signals. I'm going to wait for women to approach me. I'm going to get my looks, money, and status up, and then girls are going to come and make shit happen. I'm just going to chill and see what goes down. I'm just going to hang out and kick back, and then hopefully something will pop off. I'm going to school right now, and there's this girl in my class, and maybe hopefully next year she'll say hi to me or something. There's this girl at my job. I keep staring at her every day, and I'm chilling and waiting for the things to happen. And what I want to tell you guys is this, right? As a guy who, listen, I'm 42 years old. you know, I've been fucking with chicks since I was like 15, 16, like heavy. You feel what I'm saying? And, you know, I've dated thousands of women. I hooked up with hundreds of girls, right? And what I'm telling you is that in order to make things happen, you have to put in work. There's no way around it. Right now, you don't have to do as much as I've done, because most guys are not going to do as much as I've done. I'm abnormal. You understand? But what I'm saying is that even with the work that I put in, right? What happens is that I always still felt like, you know, I needed to put in more work, even though I'm putting in more work than the average guy. Right? Because what happens is this. When you are able to get things going with women, right? Or when you get shit popping off on a consistent basis. So meaning, let's say, for example, you know, I am able to, let's say, get 5 new girls a week I can meet up with and, you know, go out with, hook up with, or whatever. 5 new girls a week, right? Which is stuff that, you know, I used to do. Sometimes it will be a new girl every day, right? Now, what happens is that because I'm used to getting 5 to 7 girls a week, new chicks, right? What happens is that there's a certain level of work that goes with getting that, right? Now, if I see or hear about a guy doing less than that, right? That means he's going to, meaning less work. I already know he's getting less than that. Now, what I'm saying is most guys are not even doing half of what I'm doing, right? They might be doing 10%, 5% of what I'm doing. And so what happens is that because I know guys are not doing what I'm doing, in order for me to get that amount of women, you know, on a consistent basis, I know the type of work that I'm putting in. I know that if you're not even putting in half the work I'm putting in, shit is going to be hard for you. Fuck that. 10% of the work I'm putting in is going to be, you know, it's ridiculous. So I think what happens in the game is this, is that you guys are getting a false sense of what it actually takes to make shit pop for you. And the laziness is not going to help you, because what the laziness does is that it stops you from getting better at actually making shit happen. So for example, a lot of guys talk about their mouthpiece. You know why your mouthpiece is terrible? Because you're lazy, because you're not actually going out there talking to women, because the more women you talk to, the better your mouthpiece becomes, right? So this is what happens when you become a lazy motherfucker, is that your mouthpiece does not improve, right? You actually being the type of guy who takes action, right? Or I should say this, you're not going to be the type of guy that takes action, because since you're lazy, you're going to get so caught up in being lazy that you're going to get comfortable being lazy, and then you're not really going to take action. Now, what happens is that once you start to take action, you're going to realize how much work you need to do in order to get where you expected to go. So what that means is this. For example, there was a guy that I knew, right? I'm not going to say his name on here, but if he's watching this, he knows exactly who I'm talking about. There's a guy that I knew, right? He used to always, I was actually friends with his brother, right? So the guy I knew, I was friends with his brother. And when I would come around, he would jokingly say to me, he'd be like, yo, you know, Locario, just, you know, hook me up with one of the girls you be fucking with. He would just laugh. Right now, mind you, this guy never had sex, and he was probably at the time 20, right? Never had sex with a chick. Maybe I think kissed one chick in his life. But he was attracted to girls. He'd want to have sex with girls. He wanted to do these things, but he wasn't doing anything. So when I would come around, he would joke and say, yo, Lucario, just hook me up with one of the girls. I know you got mad chicks, whatever, right? So I used to laugh at this dude, and I'll be like, bruh, you know you actually need to do something. This shit is not going to work for you. You sitting here doing nothing. So then, long story short, he got tired of not actually making shit happen, right? So he actually started to try to go out, talk to girls, make shit go down, right? Then what happened was he would go out there, try to talk to girls, didn't know what the fuck to say, getting shot down, rejected, nothing's popping off. And then he came to me, he's like, yo, Lucario, this shit is so hard. Nothing's happening. And then I said to him, I said, okay, so how many girls did you talk to today? And he was like, I don't know, like maybe 3, right? And I'm looking at this dude like, fam, stop. I said, you got to talk to more women than 3 girls in one day, right? I'm like, bro, I'll talk to 30 girls in one day. What are you talking about 3? You need to put in some more work. You're fucking lazy. You understand what I'm saying? So now what happened was, as he started to talk to more girls, right? He realized that in order for him to get something happening with one chick, he had to put in a lot of work just to get something happening with one woman. But see, a lot of you guys on the internet, y'all have been seduced by choosing signals. Y'all have been seduced by, well, if the girl really likes you, she's going to approach you. Y'all have been seduced by the thought of getting your looks, money, and status up and the women will come. Y'all have been seduced by just be on your purpose and girls going to fuck with you. I'm here to tell you all that shit is a lie. It's all a lie. You understand? Do you guys realize the reason why I know the knowledge that I know when it comes to this game? It's because I bust my ass. Right now, this does not mean that I'm doing this for the women. What it means is that I understood myself and what I wanted, and then I went after what I wanted. And I realized from early that I'm actually going to have to put in work to get it. You understand? So I know myself so well because I know, you know, how high of a sex drive I have or had. I don't think my sex drive is as high as it used to be, to be honest. Shout out to my dude, Mr. Justin, in the building. You understand? Like this book right here that I wrote, How to Have Sex 2 Women a Day, which you guys can get at MrLocario.com. See, I wrote this book in 2011. You understand? 2011. Over 10 years ago. You understand what I'm saying? I wrote this book. Now, this book isn't just some shit I, like wrote out of my ass. This is like actual experience. Like I used to be heavy into doing this shit. But what I was doing was I was going out damn near every week. You understand? I was on the apps. I was flirting with girls wherever I was going. So what happened is that I got good at interacting with women. I understood how to attract them. I understood what made a chick tick and what made her attracted to me. I understood all these things because I wasn't fucking lazy and I put in work. See, the putting in the work part is the part that most of y'all are not actually doing. You know what's interesting is that you could have super weak fucking game, but if you put in a lot of work, you would actually get some progress because the act of putting in the work would actually increase your game, but also because you're putting in the work, you're covering more ground in order to make shit happen. See, dudes want to laugh or think I'm crazy when I say, yo, you should be out here talking to 25 chicks a day. They're like, Lucario, 25 girls a day? That's too much, bro. Ain't nobody got time for that. Why I gotta? Hey, listen, my brother, if you don't want to learn how to be more attractive so you can get what you want out of the dating game, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. You understand what I'm saying? Because what I will tell you, though, is that your laziness is going to leave you sexless. It's going to leave you as a guy who's not getting what he wants. I guarantee you this. I guarantee you this. You understand what I'm saying? It's going to be, and this is the thing you guys got to understand, right? A lot of guys will say, the social media changed the game, right? Now, I've always been back and forth with that concept because I always say it's a yes and no answer to that, or to, I would say yes and no to that. The reason why I would say no, it hasn't changed the game, because you still need to know how to get at chicks and holler at chicks in order to make shit happen. And if you don't know how to do that, nothing's going to happen for you. So social media is not going to make it, easier or harder to do it. If you don't know how to do it, it's still going to be hard. If you do know how to do it, you'll still be able to do it. The only thing that social media did was change the access. So now that you have social media, what happens is that you have easier access, which means that if you are a dude who has game, then it will be easier for you to acquire because you have more access. And then what happens is because you're a guy who doesn't have game, it's going to be harder for you, because since there is so much access, you sort of get lost in the crowd. You understand? So it gets easier for the motherfuckers who got game. It'll get harder for the guys who don't have game. But what happens is that the principles of it are the same, meaning that you still have to be attractive. You have to be a guy who knows how to interact with women. You have to be a guy who knows how to flirt, build sexual tension, set up dates, have a mouthpiece, be confident. You have to be that guy regardless. Now, if you're not that guy, what's going to happen is that it's going to be harder for you, because since women have more access to men, they're going to pick the best out of the access they have. And because you are not even near the best, it's going to be hard for you. And this is why you got to put in more work. But let's go to some of these calls. 202-202, what's popping? Who this? What's going on?
This is Johnny from DC.
What up, my brother? Appreciate the donation.
I donate.
Yes, sir. What's going on with you, though?
So I had a quick question. Like, all right, so when it comes to like putting in the work, so like basically the ground basis of putting in the work is the number of approaches that you're doing, right?
No, it's not. It's not just about approaches. I'm just using that as one example. What happens is putting in the work essentially is this. Putting in the work means you have to make it a part of your lifestyle. Do you understand? Let's put it in the context of a person working out, right? If you want a fit body, you have to put in the work to get the fit body, which means you have to be consistent with eating the right foods. You have to be consistent with hitting the gym, right? It's not like, well, I'll just do it when I feel like it, or, I'll just do it whenever I want or whatever. No, it has to be part of your situation. So what happens is that when it becomes part of your situation, you start to develop those muscles, your body gets a different way, and then it becomes this thing that you have. So now what happens is that you get the six pack, or you get those muscles and all these other things, and you have that look because of all the work you put in. Now, what happens is that because you put in so much work, right? Now, before, let's say, for example, you had to do a lot of shit to lose a lot of weight. Then, now that you lost the weight and you built muscle, all you need to do now is maintain. Because you've already got to the point where you needed to get to. Now all you have to do is maintain. So a lot of guys are not in the maintaining stage when it comes to dealing with women. They're in the stage of, I still don't know what to do. I'm still a fat, lazy piece of shit when it comes to this game. So I'm not even getting to that part where I can maintain. The guys who can maintain are the guys whose game is so tight because they've put in so much work beforehand. So if a guy puts, basically like this, let me give you an example. Let's say you have a guy that is going out and he's, he works on his mouthpiece. He's dressing better, smelling better. He's going out to meet women. He's confident. He has a positive attitude, and he's actually putting in work to meet lots of women. What's going to happen is over time, he's going to get a roster of women that are interested in hooking up with him, dating him, and seeing him. So let's say he has 4 or 5 women who are really, really interested in him. So now he doesn't have to put in as much work as the average guy, because the average guy has nothing. So now if this guy who has 5 chicks who want to fuck with him, all he needs to do is go on his phone, text so-and-so, hey, come over tonight. She comes over, she does what she does, and then he has his fun, and that's that. The other guy, he has nobody. But the first guy was able to get all that shit because he put in the fucking work from the beginning. He wasn't being lazy. Does that make sense?
Right. Because I was about to say this too. Because I'm actually about to. I was about to say, I am upset. I am upset with my behaviors, and that could be like nonverbal behaviors. Because like the reason why I'm obsessed with that, because like I've seen, or I know people like they can dress like a bum and still get some bad chicks. So like that's why I'm super obsessed with like my behaviors. And I notice like when I feel I don't know, like when I feel more like relaxed or like more confident sometimes, that's when I can chick. But if I'm not like really feeling it, or if I'm feeling like nervous or something like that, it always fails. It always fails. It's like it's something about that confidence thing.
Right, but see, also, but check this out. A lot of the nervousness comes from being lazy. You understand that? So what I mean by this is this, right? A lot of the nervousness that you're feeling sometimes or whatever, right, comes from you not being able or you not putting in enough work to make it something that you're used to doing. Right. So, So the thing is that because you're not used to it, or because it doesn't become as like a second nature type of thing, the nervousness kicks in because you're nervous, because you're not sure of yourself. You're not sure of yourself because you're not necessarily competent in what you're really trying to do. You're not competent in what you're really trying to do because you haven't done it enough. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Because like sometimes I will feel like, because I remember like, I approach like 5 to 10 chicks a day. I know that's not enough, but sometimes I will feel like when I approach a lot of chicks, I'm like, man, I'm doing too much. Like sometimes I'll feel that way. I'm like, damn, like, am I doing too much? I'm talking to every chick that I think looks sexy in some type of way. It could be like her ass, titties, or the whole thing that I like. Sometimes I also feel like if I keep approaching so much, you hear a lot of no's. I'm like, damn, am I doing too much, or should I just like keep going? Like.
No, because this is the thing. And this is the part that most of you guys will never hear on the internet. So I'm going to let you know now. Right. What you have to understand is, and this is something I realized through doing what I'm doing and being consistent, putting in work and making things a lifestyle and making shit happen. Right. What you just mentioned was you're like, man, I'm approaching all these girls. I'm getting rejected. Shit's not popping off or whatever. Right. So what you have to understand is that is actually a good fucking thing. And I'm going to tell you why it's a good thing. The reason why it's a good thing is because you also, see, this is the thing. Most of the time you're focused on, I want to get this girl. I want to holler at this chick. I want to have sex. I want to hook up with these girls. This chick is baddie. I want to make shit happen. Like you're going in that direction, which is cool. You're like, you're thinking about having it, and then when you get shit popping, it's all good and all that other stuff, right? But also part of the game is being able to be used to and embrace not getting it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because what happens is this: there's going to be times in the situations that you're dealing with women in the game where you're not going to get it, meaning you ain't going to have no chicks. You understand what I'm saying? So now you have to be able to still be confident, still look at yourself as that guy, still, understand your value with no chicks, because what it teaches you is that what we always say, the game is not about women. Because what happens is that if you're so focused on just getting the chicks, or you're so focused on the fact you're getting rejected, what you're doing is that you're making the game about women, and you're essentially making your value be based on the actions of the women. This is why you have to sometimes sit in the situation of it not happening. But also what happens is that you have to put in enough work for you to have those situations where you say, damn, I've put in so much work and shit still isn't happening. You see what I'm saying? So think about it this way. Think about an entrepreneur or somebody you might even know that's a rich person right now, a lot of them have stories of, yo, I've been working at this forever and it took me like forever to get here. Right. Or I was about to give up or whatever. They needed those times where shit wasn't happening so that they can embrace that shit. You see what I'm saying? So that they can so they can sit in that feeling. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what I'm trying to say is that don't feel the rejections and all that other stuff is good. The problem is most motherfuckers are trying to run away from that, which is them trying to say, well, you know what? I'm gonna just sit and wait for a girl to give me choose things. I'm gonna sit until a girl comes to me. What they're essentially doing is robbing themselves from the opportunity to sit alone. You understand what I'm saying? Right. They're robbing themselves from the opportunity to put in work and still get rejected. And be able to sit with that. Do you see what I'm saying?
I agree with you because, like, after a while, I started to feel like, you know what? I feel more of the. I mean, even though I feel like I shouldn't think this way, but it's like I feel more like of a trophy. The fact that I want to go did a lot of approaches, knowing that a lot of dudes is not doing that. Like that's how I feel, but it's like I know I shouldn't like feel like that. It's like the game is like you said is about me. You should have just. Like, this is because you approach that doesn't mean anything.
Right.
You can approach him for whack shit.
Right. But also,
that's not good.
Right. But also you got to look at it this way, right? See, what you're essentially doing is you're strengthening yourself. That's what it's about. Right. Because check this out. Right. Let's say you approach, let's say just on the approach topic. Let's say you approach 20 girls and all of them ain't trying to fuck with you. Right.
Right.
But then you have another guy who isn't approaching anyone. He just sitting there waiting for choosing signals because he too pussy to approach a woman. Right? What happens is both of y'all don't have women. But you know what you have that he doesn't? You actually have the grit to take action. You actually are the type of guy who is not scared to approach women, whereas he is. You're the type of guy who takes action when he doesn't. So what happens is that both of y'all at this moment ain't got no chicks you fucking with, but you have something he doesn't. So what that means is that you are going to also have something he doesn't, which is you have the skill to attract the woman, even though you don't have the woman there. He does not have the skill to attract the woman, even though the woman is not there. But guess what's going to happen? Because you have the skill, you are going to get women. He does not have the skill, which means he's going to stay not getting women. You see what I'm saying? And that's because he's lazy. You see what I'm saying? And that's what happens where he's going to stay in the same place. Whereas you still, even though you don't have the actual chick there, you still actually have the skill to get it and make it happen. That's the point. You're strengthening yourself.
Right. I agree.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, and see that, and real quick, this is what I'll say too, because I want to make this point. This is why a lot of guys, when they lose their chick, they start crying and bitching and moaning and want to unalive themselves and all that. You know why guys be going crazy when they lose their chick? Because most of those guys are lazy. They don't have the skill to get women, and losing their chick is like losing. It's a big thing because now they're like, fuck, how am I going to get another woman? It might be years, months, decade. I don't know when am I going to get another woman? Now, a guy who has the skill to get women because he's not lazy, he may be disappointed if he loses a chick because he might have liked her or whatever, but he knows he can go get another one. You see what I'm saying? That's what it's about.
That's facts. Not because a lot of dudes, they hold on to the chick because they feel like, man, I had to go talk to her. I had to go do this. I checked her at Ruth Chris. I bought her roses and flowers and it's like, I can kind of see it. Like, I see that angle because if you're lazy.
Right.
That's how I can see it from the point if you're a lazy dude. But, so all right, this is the last question, too. So, you mean to tell me that even players, like dudes, like guys, like that's experienced, like guys on your level and peers that's on your level and stuff like that, you still experience a lot of rejections,
yes,
even though you're advanced. You know what I'm saying? Or mastery level. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this would happen. You'll still experience rejection, but also what you're going to experience more, and this is just another side of the coin, what you also experience is you are charging chicks to the game quickly, which in itself is also a rejection. So for example, a rejection from you rejecting them. So for example, let's say, and this happens plenty of times because I ain't got no fucking patience, right? And the reason why I ain't got no patience is because I have a certain level of the game, so I know when a woman is bullshitting me. So let's say, for example, I match with a girl on an app like Tinder or Bumble, right? And I tell the girl, hey, meet me for a drink Friday at 8 o'clock or whatever. And then she says, oh, well, actually, like, I don't really like to drink, but I do like dinner. I think that would be more appropriate date to go on, right? So now she didn't reject me, but I'm about to reject her. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, the conversation's done. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And so what happens is that you go through more of that because there's more guys who are simps out here that enable women to come at you that way. So now sometimes what will happen is that you're going to have certain women who might think or mistake you as those guys too, which is why they come at you that way. Then you're going to have to charge them to the game. Or there might be situations where a chick will say something or do something. You leave the door open, let her come back. But what happens is you're still going to get rejections, but also on top of that, you're going to have to charge women to the game because you know when they're bullshitting you. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that also happens.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. I'm about to say you turn that around, but like I know you got other callers and stuff like that.
No, but I see you saying that you can turn it around.
Yeah, let me explain how. So, all right. So you said, oh, okay, meet me at this bar. She was like, oh, I want to go to the restaurant.
Right.
You could have turned it around by saying, you know what I'm saying? You could have basically just said the same thing you said again. I was like, I hear what you're saying, but let's meet over here this Friday.
No, you know no. And this is the issue though. And this is why I say it's very important to put in work because what happens is this, right? And I'm glad you said that because this is a perfect point I want to make. I'm so glad you said that. See, what happens is what you said is still to an extent you putting in work. The problem is that you're putting in work in the wrong direction. You understand what I'm saying? So now what happens is this, right? Is that and I'm glad you said that because what happens is that usually when guys are starting to learn the game, dudes end up chasing a lot. So what you're talking about a lot in most cases is chasing. So she's showing that she doesn't really have high interest in you, but then you're still trying to make it work. You're trying to flip it, you're trying to chase, right? So what happens is after enough chasing, which is still not bad to do at a certain level because at least you're still trying to put in work. After a certain time of chasing, you realize how much of a waste of time it is. So then you say to yourself, you know what? I know I have to put in work to interact and make shit happen, but I don't want to waste my time. So what you do is you put in work in areas that are going to be more beneficial to you. So what you say to yourself is, you know what? I have experience dealing with women who are extremely cooperative with me, meaning that when I tell them to meet me for drinks, they just meet me for drinks. This woman isn't trying to meet me for drinks. So what I realized was when I used to chase, right? When I would chase, I would waste a lot of time. So I'm not going to chase her. What I'm going to do is toss her to the side. Then I'm going to talk to a newer girl and see if that one is going to cooperate. You see what I'm saying? So I'm still putting in work, but I'm actually putting in work and going in a direction that is going to be more beneficial than wasting time putting in work chasing a woman. You see what I'm saying?
Now, I see what you're saying because you're basically saying I'm just going to mess with the higher interest.
Right.
But the only reason why I said the turnaround thing because I know how sometimes like girls, it can either be an automatic response, like where they're going to be on some, or for some reason, whatever it is, she may not think you're that type of guy. So I have to prove I am that type of guy. When she says, "Hey, let's go to the restaurant," I'm like, "Nah."
Wait, hold on. You say you're trying to do what? Oh, you say you're trying to do what?
Oh no, not prove, but like basically display.
What you trying to wait? You trying to display something to the chick?
I know you're going with this.
No, I'm trying to see like what are you talking about?
No. I was gonna say that word just for the example, but like basically just to like, you know, I'm not that type of guy. It's like I'm interested. If you interested, we're not going to the restaurant. We going to the bar. That's why I just repeat it. I'm going to the bar. So it's like you either coming or you're not.
Right, but this is what I'm saying. She's already shown that she's not about it. So what I'm saying is anything you do after that is you exerting energy that you could actually save and use for a situation that's more beneficial. That's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is see, and this is the thing. What happens is as you learn in the game, you learn where to put your energy at that's more beneficial. You see what I'm saying? So it's gonna be way more beneficial for you to let her go and put more energy into a woman who's more cooperative, right? And the thing is, right? And the thing is, you know that's a thing that will happen because you've already had women who listen. Let me tell you something. All you need is one time. Listen, let me explain something. Let me explain the secret to how I really got shit popping in the game in a lot of different situations. I always ever only needed one time. So what that means is that the first time I realized that a woman is going to be extremely cooperative, right? Where I just say, hey, do this, and she does it. Once it happened, it already happened. So I'm like, oh, so I've experienced this time that this woman is being cooperative. So it already happened. So now all I got to do is find the next time it happens. Oh, it happened twice. It happened 3 times. It happened 4 times. So now what happened is I'm getting confirmation that there are women who are going to listen to what the fuck I say without any resistance. So now that I'm getting all this confirmation, all I need to do is put in work to interact with more women who are going to be cooperative, right? So now why would I go back and go backwards and fuck with a chick who's not cooperative? It won't make sense. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, no. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, but sometimes, sometimes like I get what you're saying. That's like the reference point. Like if you already see girls listen to you, like 1 or 2 or 3 girls, I was gonna keep repeating that same process to keep getting the same result that you want. Right,
exactly. So, but see, what happens is that if you're thinking about chasing this other woman, what happens?
No, I'm not.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But this is what you were saying before. You was like, oh, let me like flip it, right, or try to, keep it going with her.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is you can keep shit going with a woman that you're seducing. That's not the type of chick you would seduce, though. That's a whole nother story. But what I'm saying is that a random chick who's giving you resistance like that, you don't put in more work for that. That's the chick you drop. And then you continue with women who are more cooperative. You see what I'm saying?
I got you.
Right.
I'm with you. Hey, I appreciate the advice and all that. I know you got other callers, so that's why I don't want to keep you on too long. But I appreciate you.
Appreciate the call, brother. Always helpful. Yes, sir. Appreciate the call, man. That's what's up. All right. So, guys, calling number is 646-481-3901, 646-481-3901. So I'm probably gonna go another like 20 minutes. I ain't gonna go too long because I gotta record some stuff later on after this and get some more shit popping. But let me see what these questions are saying. Let me see what these questions are saying real quick. Says, I don't do online dating. How many women do I need to approach a day to get results? Well, brother, you need to get your ass on the online dating sites. Like right now, bro. Like, what are we talking about? Listen, when I tell you guys to holler at 25 women a day, that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be 25 women out in the street. You understand? You need to exhaust all options. So this is why you should be on an online dating site, because you could actually have an exchange with 10 chicks on the dating app, then another 10 chicks, out in the street, and another 5 like on your way to the fucking grocery store, whatever the fuck it is. But what I'm saying is it has to be something consistent, because the more work you put in, the better your shit's gonna come out. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. But let me try to get hold on. Is this 571? Why is this shit acting like this? Hold on. I'm trying to get this call. 571, can you hear me? All right, let me end this shit. 571, call back. Call back. Something went wrong with that shit. But call back 571. But anyway, but yeah, you should be hitting up chicks online, hitting up chicks at the grocery store, at the mall, at the coffee shop. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere. You understand what I'm saying? Everywhere. Again, make it part of your life. Listen, when you make it part of your life, you'll start to have a large number of women, and then you can just maintain. See, the harder you work now, the less you got to work later. I'm going to say that again. The harder you work now, the less you have to work later. You understand? Like I'll use a business analogy, right? See, what happens is that, let's say you have someone trying to build a business. They might be working, you know, 1,000,000 hours a fucking week. You understand? But as the business grows and they start making more money, they can still work a bunch of hours, but they may have a situation where they don't have to work as much. They just have to maintain because they've worked so much before to get to that point. But 571, what's popping? Who this?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on? Who's this?
Yeah, this is Kevin.
Kevin,
I'm a big.
did you donate? Okay, I see the donation. Appreciate it. And shout out to Steven with the $10 donation. But what's going on, man? What's popping with you?
Well, I just wanted to say that you're really on point on the whole laziness plague. That's because I gotta admit that's what's hurting me right now. So I mean, I admit I'm a lazy fuck, and because of that, I'm sexless. So why do you think you're being lazy for? What happened? What's going on? Well, one thing I can say that I don't go out as much. I don't socialize as much, and I guess I use the excuse of fear of being like kind of like when you socialize and people just think. I automatically think that I'm awkward when I socialize.
So you think you're awkward when you socialize?
Yeah.
So do you think you're being awkward right now?
No. I mean, because I'm expressing myself to you. So
right. So why am I so special that you don't feel awkward?
Well, because I'm a big fan of your work, and hopefully I can get back in the Bad Boy membership. I was a member, but due to financial strain, I had to cancel. So,
yeah. So, and the thing is this, is that, so part of the issue is you thinking or feeling or believing that you are awkward, right? Because we're talking back and forth. We just shooting the shit. It's not a big deal. But the thing is that if you continue to think this, then you're going to second guess yourself in conversations and interactions. And then that's the thing that's going to make it hard for you to even have those things. You feel what I'm saying? Oh shit, my fucking camera went out. Hold on, let me try to get this shit back on. My camera's bugging out today. Hold on. There we go. Let me get my camera back on to the real shit. Cause I think my fucking, hold on, give me 1 second. Let me try to get the camera back on. All right, there we go. That shit went out for a second. But anyway, so the thing is this. So you say you're like, what are you trying to do? You trying to meet more women? You trying to hook up? What are you trying to do?
Well, my goal really honestly is just to hook up and, learn a lot about myself on just the lengths I can go to be successful with a woman. Years ago, I used to do a lot of approaching, when I got off work, but I got rejected so much that, I kind of had a meltdown and I kind of gave up on myself, and that was a big mistake. I should have never done that.
And wait, and how old are you?
I'm 37. 37.
And are you seeing any women right now? Are you talking to any women, dating, hooking up with anybody right now?
No, I'm not. All I do is just work and come home and, just look at the tube all day. I mean, I mostly do work. I mean, But other than that, I don't go out and socialize as much. And
Right.
you know,
So
I also admit that I am overweight, and I got to be honest, that makes me insecure as well about talking to women. Because
okay, so
the thing is,
so let me ask you a question. Would you feel more confident about yourself if you lost weight?
oh, absolutely. I mean, I used to be skinny, and when I was skinny,
okay, so my question is, so this is the thing. This is what I just want you to notice. So you know that you would rather be slimmer than you are, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, right. So with that, what needs to happen is that you need to actually take action. This is why the title of the show is about laziness. It's because a lot of times y'all know what y'all need to do, but you're not doing it or don't have the discipline to do it. So that's the issue. You got to get to that point to do it. But also the reason partly why you don't have the discipline to do it or why you're not doing it is because of the insecurity you have within yourself already. Because what a lot of people don't understand is that when you're insecure, right, you don't even feel as if you can do the things you know you're supposed to do. You're like, well, why should I even bother to do? I'm not going to get skinny, or it's going to take too long, or it's not going to happen, or that all of that is jumbled up in the insecurity.
Right. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So you have to, the thing is that you have to sit with yourself and think long and hard, pause, about what you actually want to do, and then find ways to make that happen. You understand? Even if it's little by little every day, you have to, set little goals for yourself, right? So that you can actually achieve those goals, so that will start to build your confidence up. You see what I'm saying? Because if you're stuck in the same rut of feeling insecure, that's going to affect everything else that you know you should do. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? But I would say this, bro, is that if you can try to save up some money, well, I would say, definitely go to the gym and try to make that happen, but try to save up some money and get some coaching, brother. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like a lot of it has to do with your mindset. And if we could flip that mindset to get you going, then you'll start to see more progress. You feel what I'm saying? But the mindset has to change, man. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I honestly, I'm going to save up money because I really want to get back on your program, because I was on it before, and like I reiterated that due to financial BS, I had to get off, and that's unfortunate. So I really want to get back on your program, because that's a really big help.
Yeah, definitely. And just if anything, just email me, man. Hit me up at Ask Mr. Lucario, and then we can see what we could do. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, if you actually, get some coaching so that you could get in the right direction and just have some steps that you can do and go into that direction, then things will start to be a little bit more, work out for you. But this is the thing that I say even to all the people that I coach personally. And I'm going to say this to you now. The number one thing that I tell guys when I coach them, because a lot of guys I coach, it's always the same thing. The number one thing that is, similar to a lot of guys I coach is laziness in so many different aspects. Because what happens is that the things that they need to do in order to level up is going to take work. You understand what I'm saying? And it's achievable, but you got to be able to want it bad enough to do the work. You see what I'm saying?
Got it.
All right, my brother. All right, bro, man. Really appreciate the call, brother. Right. Yes, sir. I'm holler at you, man. All right. So let's go to 818. What's popping? Who this?
Evening, Lucario.
What up?
Claudio.
What's going on? Appreciate the donation. Yes, sir. So what's going on?
So I had a question kind of regarding a conversation you had with Dean. It was with a caller from Texas, and I believe he was the last call. But he made a comment regarding how someone with game can be someone successful in life. And I was seeing these correlations in my life when I was, not that long ago, studying you guys and really noticing myself.
Right.
I started noticing, I began to fucking love myself. I began to become like less fearless. And like I'm an artist, and I began to see all these opportunities coming in, and I was taking all these opportunities like fearlessly. And I began to notice the way I dress was better because I saw it like as an extension of myself and just enjoying myself.
Right.
And like I had no issue dismissing women, and just my life. I was just enjoying life. It was like a flow of just happiness. And then I noticed that, and then there was like an issue with the car, and I had to take it to the mechanic. And I began to bus again, and I thought I was going to be like without a car for a long time, and that kind of affected my transportation and opportunities. And I was a bit worried with that it would affect my flow and like the progress I've made. I know it's all mental though, but I thought like maybe all these like symptoms of like the happiness, the joy, I don't want to misconstrue it with other aspects of like, am I overstepping the concept of game? Like, are these like, because this is all pretty new to me. Are all these things that were going well, is that a symptom of myself and the game, or is that something separate? Like the caller was saying, like if you have game, you can make a bunch of money or whatever it was.
So
I remember you guys.
You're asking, is you losing the stuff a symptom of you having no game? Is that what you're asking?
Like all these things going well, was that a symptom of the game?
Oh, so you're saying that? So you're saying that things going well, does that mean that you have game?
Not exactly game. I know it's all like internal because it all came from within, and all of it was a symptom that just came outwards, and the flow of life just felt a lot easier, a lot more joyful. Is that part of game? I mean, it feels like it is, but I want to be more certain about this because I know.
So I'm trying to understand what you're saying specifically. So are you trying to figure out what game is specifically, and does it have to do with anything as far as like you succeeding and getting things going? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, because that's part of it.
Right. So basically what it is this, right? Is that see, having game, right? And this is why so many people are confused when it comes to this and all this other stuff, is people are looking at things outside and then trying to equate that to say, well, I have a certain level of game, or I have all these things going on, so therefore that must mean that, I have game, right? And what happens is that it's actually the opposite, because what happens is that the fact that you would look at the things outside of you as a measuring stick for how much game you have shows how much game you don't have. Because a person who has game doesn't look at those things as a measuring stick to his level of game. Because what happens is if you lose those things, then you're going to say, oh, well, I guess I don't have game anymore. I suck and I'm a loser. And I like, who am I? I'm not a good person, or I'm not a man, or whatever the fuck it is, because you're counting these things, or you're looking at these things as a measuring stick. You understand what I'm saying? So these things are just things, these situations, and whatever you have or whatever you accomplish, that's fine. But the real game comes in when you understand that what's important is you. That's what it is. You see what I'm saying? All those other things are just things that you done or created or involved yourself in, but that doesn't define who you are. See, game is about understanding who you are, right? And understanding that none of that shit defines who you are. Do you see what I mean? But what happens is that sometimes you have to go through the things like what you're going through now to sort of, like, the questions you're asking is good, because now it gets to the point where you're able to recognize that those things aren't the things that you should be looking at. You got to look at yourself. So all of those other things is cool, but it's irrelevant to it, at the end of the day, right? Because this is the thing. A guy who has game can say, well, you know what? Because I have game, I was able to do these things to get these things, right? But if you are saying these things is proof that I have game, then you don't have no game. This is why when dudes call us up and they say, yo, you guys should show us the women you're fucking with, and you got to show receipts and all that other shit. Those niggas ain't got no game, because if they had game, they would realize that trying to prove you have game means you ain't got no fucking game. You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing that confuses a lot of people, is that they don't realize. It's like, and I always equate it to the phrase or the concept of a human being, right? When you say the word human being, you as a human, and you're just being, you understand what I'm saying? Then that basically tells you right there, that's the game right there, a human being. But what most people are human doings. They're worried about all the shit they're doing. Do you see what I'm saying? So think about it this way. You ever hear somebody say, you know, having a bunch of sex has left me feeling empty inside, or, you know, I was trying to get all this money and I got all this money and I'm still not happy. You ever hear people say shit like that?
Yeah, I've heard that. Uh-huh.
Right. So you said that before, right? Or whatever, right? You had that experience, right? Right.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why that happens is because what people are doing is they are trying to do things in order to be happy. They're trying to do things, or they're trying to take action in order to make that action validate who they are, right? So if I'm hungry, I'm going to eat a cheeseburger. The only reason I'm eating the cheeseburger is because I'm hungry. That is it. I'm not eating the cheeseburger to make me feel better about myself as a man. I'm not eating the cheeseburger to fill some void of me, you know, not feeling special in the world. The only reason I'm eating a cheeseburger is because I'm hungry. So the only reason I'm getting money is to buy shit or pay my bills. The only reason that I'm having sex is because I want to bust a nut. Do you get that? So I'm only doing the things because of what the things are to do. You understand? It's like I'm just doing it just to do it. But if I'm doing it in some form or fashion to try to get something else out of it, or to try to see myself a certain way out of the situation, that's when I'm always going to lose, right? Because if I'm trying to have sex to fill a void, well, I'm lonely and I don't feel love. So I'm going to have sex with all these people and hopefully that'll make me feel loved. So when I have sex with all these people, what's going to happen is I'm still going to feel empty because I was trying to get love and tried to get the sense of, you know, well-being through sex, instead of just using sex for what it was to either get pleasure or to make a baby. You understand what I'm saying? So what happens is a lot of people, what they do is that the reason why they feel a certain type of way is because they keep trying to do things instead of just trying to be. They're trying to be a human doing instead of a human being. Do you see what I'm saying? So if I'm trying to get validation through sex, what I'm doing is that I'm having sex. I'm doing the act of sex to try to get something outside of what sex is used for. You see what I'm saying?
I see.
So I'm doing this to get this instead of just being in the moment and having some really nice sex and enjoying it and busting a fat ass nut and calling it a day. You see what I'm saying? And the problem is this is why so many motherfuckers feel some type of way, is because they're looking outside of themselves and at all these other things to define them, to make them feel a certain way. You see what I'm saying? And what happens is that you really, truly understand yourself, you understand who you are, and you understand the game when you're just being. You see what I'm saying? Instead of trying to do. And a lot of the things that were outside of you were things that you acquired by doing. You see what I'm saying?
I see. Well, so I have a fair grasp of like what you're saying, but I want to like delve into it a little bit more, because I understand like the concepts, but you don't obviously also, like, for example, I don't know, I want a house in the future.
Right.
Is that a house? Is that because I need shelter, or is that a house because I want to be comfortable. And is it an issue when I start thinking of like other people, like, okay, is my house good enough? Is it big enough? Does it need 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom? But some of these are preferences, right? So I'm trying to like, I want to bring it to the physical where it's like, I mean, you and Miles, you guys have some cash. I'm fairly certain, of course I'm relating this to money just because it seems like the more, I don't know. We all need money. I'm not saying be a billionaire, but
right.
So I want a house. How do I translate what we're all talking about to like, I want a house in the future?
No, there's not wrong with getting a house. You can get the biggest house, with fucking 20 bathrooms, a pool, all that shit. That ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with none of that stuff. What the issue is though, is if you are getting that house, right, or trying to get that house because you think that it's going to make you more important, or you think that it's going to do anything for your sense of happiness, or you're doing that in order to, impress somebody. You see what I'm saying? So you can just get it because you like the way the house looks. Oh, I want a bigger space because I got all this shit I want to put in the house. I'm trying to build this and all that other stuff. You use it for what it is. Basically, what I mean is that you enjoy it for what it is, but don't make what it is be attached to who you are. Does that make sense? Right. So you don't attach it to who you are. So the thing is, if you get the house and lose the house, right, it's not going to make a difference. Right. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But a lot of people, what'll happen is they don't have the house, they feel like shit. They get the house, they feel happy, and then they lose the house, they feel like shit. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? That's what a lot of people will do. And that type of shit is not understanding the game. You see what I mean?
I see. No, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Rosario. You and Miles, man. I don't know. It's just like the mind shift of like the concept that you guys talk about. It's been extremely helpful and breaking down my whole like perspective of life and just knowing that there's more to life than what I've been living. And I really appreciate the help. Thank you.
That's what's up, man. Appreciate the call, my brother. Appreciate the call.
Have a good one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, let me go to 732. 732. What's popping? Who this?
Yo, what up, Lucario? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on with you, man?
Yo, man, this is Leak. I donated, bro.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. So what's going on, man?
I'm doing good, man. I just wanted you to touch on something as far as what are like the dangers of being too logical in the game, like thinking too logical in the game.
Yeah, as far as what? What do you mean as far as logical? As far as like
just like talking to women, like you use like the analogy of being broccoli versus pizza.
Right.
Yeah, like as far as like being too logical, like when you're talking to women and when you're like flirting with them and like being and making them feel feelings and things like that. Could you touch on that?
Yeah, well, basically,
I've had issue with that before.
Right. Well, basically, what it is part of, being, for example, charismatic, smooth, seductive, all that other shit. Right. A lot of it is feeling. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So meaning that there's a time for logic, but at the same time, what happens is that you have to also move on instinct. You see what I'm saying? So even on the Bad Boy membership, I have a program where I talk about, how to read women. And a lot of guys don't know how to read women. So when you read women, what that means is that you're able to pick up on a certain type of energy, and then you know how to move with that energy to benefit you and to move the conversation in the way where you want it to go. You understand? And you do this, you already do this in regular life. It's just when it comes to women, it seems like y'all forget about this shit because y'all are not actually in the moment. Y'all are caught up thinking about all this other shit. You're all over the place. But what happens is that, and this is why I say guys have to go out more and talk to more women and interact with more women, because what happens is that this starts to become second nature when you're actually doing it. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So the more that you're able to do it, the more that it comes to you. You see what I'm saying? It's just like, for example, like if like a rapper or something, when they freestyle, because they've been rhyming words so much, they can just come up with shit on the fly because they feel the next word coming. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's not really logical that a person could come up with an actual impromptu poem that rhymes, but because they feel it, it happens. You see what I'm saying? But they feel it because they've been in enough situations rhyming words that they have a feel for it coming. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing when you're talking to a woman, is that, see, when you're too logical, what you do is you overanalyze every little thing and you're not actually in the moment. When you're in the moment, you can feel the energy, and then that energy that you're feeling can propel you to say the next thing or make the next move, which usually will attract the woman more. But you got to be in that situation to be able to know how to do that. You got to be in more of those situations, and then you'll be in more of a flow state. You start to, like, it'll just flow. But the thing is, it's hard to describe it because you actually have to just be in it. You see what I'm saying? You got to be in it. It's almost like, it's almost like, for example, like, you ever be in a situation where, let's say, for example, maybe you were about to, like, be in some sort of dangerous situation. Like, you feel like, oh, I'm about to get robbed. Something crazy is about to happen. Let me get out of this situation. Or you get nervous, or your heart starts beating fast because you're in a life or death type of situation. That feeling, right, happens because you're so immersed in the moment that you're not going to sit there and analyze, well, wait a second, my heart's beating really fast, and I'm kind of fearful right now, so that must mean that I'm going to want to go. No, you're not thinking about that. You're just like, oh shit, the house is burning, we got to get out, you'll grab that, blah 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 blah. You're just moving and shaking because you're in the moment, right? And so that at that point, that's when you're able to move based on that. So you still want to have that logic there, but at the same time, it needs to be balanced out with feeling. And that's the thing that a lot of guys see. Guys who are really good with attracting women and being sexual with women and having women, really gravitate to them. Those guys know how to tap into that energy where they can turn off the super logical analytical thing and just be in the moment with the woman. You see what I'm saying? And so what happens is when you're in that moment, you're able to, like, interact with her to where she's going to be responding to the fact that you are now moving the conversation or interaction in a way where it's more, the energy is more seductive, is more sexy. It's turning her on more. You understand? Because a lot of times what happens is women get turned on by how they feel. But women are not going to feel a certain way based on logic. Like, you can't logic your way into pussy. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can't say, hey, miss, I actually think, I'm 27, you're 24. So we're actually at the right age where we should be actually dating. And it would actually make mathematical sense that you're my girlfriend at this stage, because if we were to have a kid, like, ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Like, she needs to feel something to get her pussy wet. And in order for that to happen, you need to get out that fucking super logical, analytical mind and be in the moment and make that sexual energy talk. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what it's about.
Right. Now, the thing is, like, with me, like, I've done a battle membership for a while and stuff like that. And some of the programs, I didn't necessarily disagree with the stuff you said, but like, since I didn't have much experience, I thought, this stuff ain't gonna work. Like, this stuff ain't gonna work. But like, after like I started getting more experience, and I'm like, oh, it does work. Yeah,
because that's what happens that's what happens when you're too logical. See, this is what and again, being logical is important in certain situations. But what happened? Because check this out. Think about this. If you're trying to attract a woman who is going based on feelings, how the fuck is logic going to make that happen? You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing, is that dudes don't get that. This is why when I hear guys say, well, it's all about looks and you have to be a Chad. Yeah, that sounds logical to a man who's concerned with looks from, or a woman looking good. But what happens is that they're not talking about, a thing that makes women feel. You understand what I'm saying? They don't know how to they don't know how to inspire a woman to feel. You see what I mean?
Yeah, that was my
right.
Yeah, that was my issue. Like I was looking at like the stuff on the Battle of Manhood from like a really logical perspective. I'm like, this stuff ain't gonna work. But once I started getting experience, like that's when I started. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the thing is, logically, all these women should be with these nice guys who have good jobs and treat them perfectly nice. But you notice women always go with the bad boys who ain't got no fucking money, who fucking like shit, basically shit on them and be like, bitch, fuck out of here. And they go crazy over these guys. Why? Because it's not logical. You understand what I'm saying? Attraction is not logical. It's about feeling. It's about it's about the intense feeling in the moment. You see what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of dudes don't understand game, because what happens is that, and this is the funny part. This is the part that's gonna blow your mind, is that when you're in the moment, right, and you're actually feeling the situation, that's going to actually ironically make the most logical sense as to why shit is happening how it's happening. You see what I'm saying? So what I mean by that is, if you're on a date with a girl and you're sitting there next to her at a bar and y'all are drinking and you up close on her, right? And you're whispering in her ear and she's fucking giggling and blushing, right? And the reason why you're doing that is because your natural desire to be up on her, right, is coming out. So you're not thinking, well, let me sit 2.7 millimeters next to her and then blah, blah, blah. No, it's like, yo, she bad as fuck. Oh my God, let me get up on her. Then you start whispering shit in her ear like, you smelling so fucking good right now. My God, you smelling good, right? So you're in the moment, you're in the situation. So now she's getting turned on by your natural desire to get close to her. Right? You're not even necessarily conscious that you've even sat this close to her at this point. You feel what I'm saying? So now what happens is that she's feeding off your desire in the moment. You see what I'm saying? And so it's happening this is all happening at once. And what happens is that guys who are so all up in their head and thinking logically and this has to happen and the moon has to be right and the stars need all of that nonsense takes them out of the interaction, takes them out of the situation, because what's going to happen is it's almost like you guys are playing tennis. You hit the ball this way, she hits the ball back. You hit the ball this way, you hit the ball back. So she's looking at you. You're attracted to her. You're desiring her. You moving closer. You moving closer. She's getting turned on. She's moving in a little closer to you. You start whispering in her ear. She's getting wet. Right now, because she's getting wet, she gets a little closer and starts, giggling and blushing. She's giggling and blushing. So now you're getting even more turned on, and you're like, yo, you start getting closer. You start touching her hand. You rubbing on her leg, right? So she starts looking in your eye with that fucking look. Then you just grab her by, take her chin a little right here, and then you start kissing her. Now you're kissing her. She's getting more wet. You see how it's a back and forth thing, because you're both literally in the moment. It's happening now. You're so focused on the moment. You're not sitting there thinking, well, should I go in for the kiss? And I don't know. Maybe it's too early. Maybe it's too late. Maybe she's not. You're not thinking of none of that shit. You're naturally moving based on how the desire is, and she's reciprocating. You understand? And that's all going based on feeling. You see what I'm saying? So it's not sitting there like trying to calculate when should I go in for the kiss, and maybe in 2.5 seconds after the bartender brings us a drink, maybe I'll move in. No, you're not thinking about that. You're so in the moment, and you're being honest about your natural desire, and you're going with it. You see what I'm saying?
Nah, that's real talk, bro. Right. Thanks for all the game, man. I appreciate
yes,
you.
Sir.
Man. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Appreciate the call, my brother. All right. Yeah. So let's hold on. I'm about to get these questions real quick, and then we're gonna wrap it up because I gotta get something to eat. I'm fucking starving and shit. All right, let me get some of these questions. I'm gonna kill the phone lines because I know somebody might call in. Let me kill the phone lines real quick. Let me get to these questions. So it says, you live in New York, Lucario. What about guys who live in small towns? Sometimes you gotta go on the road, my brother. Go to the town that's closest to you, and holler at chicks there. Do you truly believe that men who are afraid to approach women are weak, or do you understand and sympathize with their fears? This is the thing. If you're a 16-year-old boy, I can sympathize with you. But after you're 18, 19, 20, you turning into a grown-ass man, no. You understand what I'm saying? You've had way more than enough time to get over your fear of approaching women. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you're too old for that shit. You know what I mean? And if you still have that fear, you need to get up on that and put some work in. Again, don't be lazy. Put some work in so you can get over that fear. The fear is because you haven't put in enough work. You understand? You haven't put in enough work. You see what I'm saying? The more work you put in, the less fear you're going to have. It's that simple. Because your fear is coming from the unknown. Once you know that it ain't shit to go and approach a woman and talk to her, you're not going to have that fear anymore. So, Brother Mr. Locario, why can't we live in the Sadie Hawkins world where women do all the approaching and wooing while men sit in their feminine in their mom's basement? Hilarious. Says that when it comes to the example you gave about the guy whose lifestyle is about the gym, who is consistent, what's the difference between him and the guy who makes it about women? The difference is that he's in the gym making it about him. You understand what I'm saying? It still always needs to be about you. You understand? See, the reason why, for example, I was hooking up with a bunch of girls, going out to different spots. I was in the clubs a lot, at the bars, right? Is because I actually liked to be, in a lot of these situations. And also I liked to interact with women. But me liking to interact with women isn't about the women. And let me explain. So let's say me and you both like women, but I like to hook up with this many women. You just want a girlfriend, right? We both are interested in women, but guess what? We do it two different ways. Why? Because we're doing it our way. So it's not about the women, it's about us and how we want to do things. You see what I'm saying? So let's take women out the equation and replace women with food, right? Let's say you like to eat seafood and I like to fucking eat hamburgers and cheeseburgers and fast food, and that's what I do. So we both like food, but we're doing it our way. We're doing it how we want to do it in our situation. We're doing what we're doing in our lives in a certain way, right? We both make money. I may be an entrepreneur. You may work for someone, but we're both making money. We're doing it our way. It's about us. It's not about the money. It's not about the food. It's not about the women. This is what happens when you understand the game, is that you remove it from it being about the woman to you making it about yourself. You remove it from it being about money and you make it about yourself. You understand what I'm saying? You move it from it being about, the gym and, I got to get the best muscles, and make it about yourself. So you say, and this is the key, if I'm going to the gym, how do I want to look versus me trying to look a certain way for other people? You understand? So I may go to the gym because I'm like, look, I want to, look a certain way, lose some weight because this is the type of weight I want to be, but I don't need to be a nigga with a six pack and, super large biceps like a fucking bodybuilder, because that's not what I want. Whereas the other guy who's a bodybuilder, he wants that. You feel what I'm saying? He might go to the gym all the time. I might go to the gym 3 times a week. He might go to the gym 6 or 7 times a week. So the gym is there. We just do it 2 different ways. And so the reason, and us doing it two different ways shows that it's not about the fucking gym. It's about us. It's about how we want to do things. If you guys understand that concept, that's when you really understand game. You see what I'm saying? That's when you really understand it. Because what you have to understand is that within life, you are participating in all these things in life because you are attached, or I should say connected. That's probably a better word to say, connected to everything. You see what I'm saying? But you being a conscious human being, you're the focal point of that connection. So understanding to do things your way, this is why we say the truth is inside you. Because truth is subjective. My truth is I like this and I like to do that. Your truth is you like to do that and then you also like to do this. That's what it's about. You see what I'm saying? That's what it's about. So where are we at in the questions? It says, when it comes to the examples you gave about the guy whose lifestyle, oh yeah, we already did that one. If you suggest a place for coffee and ask if we could meet in the middle, or if it's a bit far for her, is that a charge if she's not willing to make the choice to come through? Now, again, you guys need to stop worrying about if the shit is far for the woman. You understand what I'm saying? Figure out what you want to do. Tell her to meet you at the place. And that's it. And either she's going to come or she's not. If she's interested, she'll come. If she's not interested, she won't. It's that simple. Don't overextend yourself. Don't waste time thinking about all that shit. You said, I'm starting to get matches on Tinder after getting better pictures and had some dates and hookups, but I want to start going straight for hookups. How do I set up my profile for hookups? Well, Mike D, I'm glad you asked, because on the Bad Boy membership, right, we have a program on the Bad Boy membership called How to Take Pictures That'll Get You Laid on Online Dating Sites. So I'm so glad you asked. So, on this program, I talk about, having a, fuckboy profile or player profile, however you want to say it. And also this program right here, how to send messages that'll get you laid on online dating apps. This one right here will teach you how to send messages and set up a thing for you to be able to get girls straight from the app back to your place. And I teach you the way to do it, right? That is going to be, very beneficial for you. But also with that, I also want to tell you guys this. Be careful about bringing chicks straight to your place. Because even if you want to bring chicks straight to your place, you have to basically, in a sense, vet the chick too before she comes through. You gotta get her on a FaceTime, and you gotta ask her some questions. You gotta, see how she's living, all that shit. He says, when you say that you were doing more work in the dating game than the average guy, what would that entail? Okay, so basically what that would entail was that I would basically be going out maybe probably 3 to 4 times a week, right? To holler at chicks and go to clubs, bars, and all that other stuff. I would, talk to women wherever I was at. If I seen a woman that I was attracted to at the coffee shop, at a meetup event, you feel what I'm saying? I was heavy online, so I was doing all the things, right? I was stacking up dates, meaning I would go on 3 dates a day. So I get a chick at, and again, I'm not telling y'all to do this. I'm just saying that the reason why I've had so much sex and I've had so much success with women and I learned so much about dealing with women is because I was going ham. So I would set up a date. I would get a coffee date at 2, then I'd meet another date at 4:30, and I'd meet another date at maybe around 7. You understand? So I was going crazy. And what I'm saying is, because I put in so much work, I was getting a certain type of result. So even if a guy just even puts in half of what I was doing, he'd be better than putting in 1%, which is what most guys will put in like 1 to 5% of work. Like most guys, what they'll do is they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm out here talking to women. I'll be like, okay, so how many women you talk to this week? 4. That's less than 1 a day. Like I had a dude one time, and this was back in the day when Plenty of Fish was hot. This dude was like, your online dating don't work. That shit sucks. I said, okay, so how many women have you hollered at or sent messages to? Because on that app, you could just, on that website, you just see a woman send a message. The nigga said, he's like, at least 10. I said, bro, you only sent 10 messages today? He said, no, 10 this month. I'm like, nigga. See, most guys think they're putting in work, but they're not really putting in work. You're not putting in work. You understand what I'm saying? But like I said, if you put in work now, all you need to do is maintain later. Right? Because, and again, I'll use a business analogy again, right? If you're building a business, you're going to probably have to, and I put have to in large letters, have to work a certain amount of hours, a lot of hours, right? Then, as your business starts growing and you start making more and more and more money, right? You might make enough money to where you may not have to work as much and you can just maintain. Right? So like, for example, I'll use myself as an example. So when me and Miles first started this business, right? We had jobs and we was working on the business. So we was working at work at our jobs. And then when we would get off work, we would work on the business. So we were putting in a lot of fucking work. Then it got to the point where we was able to quit the job and just focus straight on this. And so we were putting in a lot of work still on this, but we didn't have to do the other job. So we was just working on this, right? Now, we went from having to work all day, right? To right now, right? We don't have to work as much. We can just work a certain amount and maintain. Like right now, it's like what, 12:30 in the morning as I'm doing this. I didn't need to do this live stream. Like, okay, let me explain something to you guys. Okay, I'm not going to tell you like the type of money that me and Miles will make or whatever, but I'll say this. To maintain the amount of money me and Miles make at this point, we would have to work maybe, like have to work maybe 3 days a month. You understand? Now, like we could maintain the amount of money we're making working 3 days a month. As before, we'd have to work damn near 20 hours a day to even get to a certain point. So what I'm saying is that if you work hard now, then you will just need to maintain later. You understand? But motherfuckers don't want to work. You see what I'm saying? They don't want to work. And so this is what happens. So, you know, a dude who's out here interacting with women, he can get a bunch of women on a roster and then just maintain those women. Simple. You see what I'm saying? But let me see what this says. It says, I checked my girl because we're having less sex than normal and she isn't listening all the time. I said, if the situation doesn't change, I will leave. Is it the right way to go? Well, this is the thing. Well, have a conversation where I see what is the actual issue as to why. And the why will tell you whether or not you can fix the situation or you would just need to go. You see what I'm saying? Because what if you're talking to a girl for 4 months and an ex calls her around you? Should you check that? What do you mean check that? Check the ex? I mean, if she an ex, then why are you ain't even gotta just ignore that chick. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. What kind of boundaries are considered made out of principles and things I truly believe, and what kind are out of fear? Sometimes I struggle to notice the difference. That's a good question. So the boundaries rooted in fear are the things that are about your insecurities. So any boundary where you have where you put because you're afraid that your woman's going to leave you, that's out of fear. You see what I'm saying? But a boundary about, let's say, for example, her safety is one thing. But a boundary about her that could, you think, well, if she's on Instagram, she might leave me for another guy. Guy's going to DM her. So I don't want her on Instagram. That's fear. But if you say, hey, listen, I don't think you should go to that spot at this club because that area is a lot of gangsters and, shit might pop off. So let's, you and your friend should go to this other place or, stay in these areas. So we don't go over there. We're going to go over here. That's, more for her safety. That's not a fear or insecurity. You see what I'm saying? As far as like insecurity about you losing her to another guy, right? So it says a lot of guys are only lazy in dating, but other aspects of life work hard. Why is that? Yeah, and that's the thing. The same way where they work hard in those other aspects, they should also work hard in dating. The reason why they don't work hard in dating is because a lot of times people think dating is just supposed to happen. They think it's just supposed to happen. Someone's supposed to show up and shit's supposed to pop off. Now, in some situations, they may get lucky on the front end, but on the back end, they lose the situation because they haven't learned the skill to maintain the situation. It says, Lucario, can you do a show one of these days about mindset and deeper topics, bro? You are modern day philosopher, bro. I love to hear you speak. I mean, there's certain things that, go to my other channel, Lucario Motivation. I talk more about that stuff on there, but I'm going to start doing more stuff on there also too. But yeah, we could definitely get into that also. So this says, powerful explanation on the difference between human doing and human being. Are there any practical steps you can take to practice embodying this concept? Meditation. Look up, meditation. Look up, attachments. You understand? And detaching, stuff like that. I always tell y'all, check out guys like Alan Watts, Anthony DeMello, Wayne Dyer. A lot of different spiritual teachers. They talk about this type of stuff. It says reading women doesn't have to do with figuring out what type she is, but only how she's reacting to you, correct? Well, both. You could read women to figure out, just like her vibe and sort of her mindset also. And it's also, definitely to see how she's reacting and responding to you. You understand? And you guys can learn that on the Bad Boy membership, man. But guys, I'm about to head up out of here. Remember, guys, go to badboymembership.com, masculineidentitymembership.com. Remember, the sale is coming up soon. And in the sale, you're going to get this program for free, How to Have a Successful Non-Monogamous Relationship. That is the new program that is going to be for free on the holiday sale. And remember, make sure you get it on the holiday sale because you cannot get this program until spring 2024. So if you want this now, you got to get it on the sale. The sale is coming up on Monday. So December 18th up until January 1st is going to be the sale. And with that sale, you're going to get the Ultimate Bad Boy package for free. And you're going to get How to Have a Successful Non-Monogamous Relationship for free when you join either the Bad Boy membership or the Masculine Identity membership. So make sure you guys check that out. And in the program, I teach you about non-monogamy, and I also have an interview with April, an interview with my wife, and also an interview with me about how I personally think about non-monogamy, and I do a whole section where I break down how to have non-monogamous relationships. You understand what I'm saying? So we can make that happen. All right, so pretty much, guys, man, that is it. Appreciate y'all tuning in. And I will holler at y'all guys later, okay? And remember, people, the truth is inside you. I'm out of here. I am gone. All right, let me see what I'm going to play to get us out of here. Let me play this shit. We're out. I was thinking, I fucked up by even acknowledging y'all bitch niggas. Keep your mouth shut when you speaking to me. Your bitch is sleeping with me. Nigga, I beat it for free. She said you needin' a fee. All that I'm being is me. Niggas be sleeping on me, so what they'll be dreaming of me? These bitch niggas is my groupies. They try to be just like me. I like coochie. They act like LGBTQ dudes be just putting extras on it. Like movies, I like Tootie. Kelly Bundy, I like Rudy. When she got older, that bitch bad, I like Judy. From Family Matters, she did porn, I like Tootsie. Topanga getting smashed, her lips was quite juicy. Facts. I'm sure you could tell I'm an 80s baby. Yes, sir. I fuck so much I should have 80 babies. Yes, sir. Only lady I call babies my lady. Any lady that'll play me is crazy. I was thinking that it gotta be hard for y'all to recognize that I'm that nigga and that y'all not that nigga. And that you'll never be that nigga. I slap a nigga in his fucking face and watch his mask fall off. He's a fucking fake. He's a fucking snake. You don't get bitches, you take pictures with prostitutes, nigga. Give me a fucking break. These goofy niggas on the internet, they be all into that. I'm where the winners at. Niggas be losing, that's why they trying to prove they getting that's wondering who I'm fucking. Your girl and tell you I'm hitting that. Niggas be like, yo, he's different. Just cause I ain't say your name don't mean I'm sneak dissing. Let's be clear, I'm dissing you, but I don't want niggas to know your name, my nigga. Keep listening. You're a nobody. You hear no probably. From every chick you know, you want nobodies. That's how you like them hoes. Have me on your show and acting just like them hoes, biatch.